Subsea 7 is a global leader in seabed to surface engineering, construction and services contractor, always keeping safety at the heart of all our operations and committing to an incident-free workplace every day, everywhere. Vessel safety. Subsea 7 operates one of the world's most versatile fleets, comprising of high-specification pipe lay, construction, remote intervention and diving support vessels. All offshore support vessels require certain skills, competence and levels of safety awareness from their crew and work personnel. Safe working procedures such as formalized risk assessments and processes are all now incorporated into the vessel's safety management systems, and it's these standards that we must follow if we're to work safely. Subsea 7 vessels comply with the ISPS code, and our vessels have a ship security officer who's responsible for security on board. All personnel boarding our vessels must show photographic ID, which must be available at all times while in port. Luggage or other equipment taken on board a vessel may be subject to random checks. In addition, for security reasons, several areas on our vessels are restricted to authorized personnel, and these will be clearly marked. Your vessel induction may include things such as project familiarization, a general vessel tour, your lifeboat allocation, life-saving and firefighting appliances, escape routes and first aid equipment. There will be periodic lifeboat drills, testing of emergency fire alarms and man overboard drills. Get to know these, they're important for your safety while on board. If you see a fire or a life-threatening situation, then raise the alarm by breaking the glass on the nearest alarm point or by phoning the bridge. Tell the officer on watch what and where the problem is, a fire for example, and whether anyone is injured or trapped. If it's safe to do so, then you should start to fight a fire with the nearest equipment, but you must raise the alarm first, but don't put yourself in danger. PPE is an important component in managing risks at work, and your last line of defense when you're working. Using the appropriate PPE is mandatory everywhere outside the main accommodation areas and the office. It means you must have and use approved coveralls, safety helmet, safety boots, safety glasses, hearing protection and gloves. For some jobs you may need additional PPE. This will be specified in project procedures. If you're taking any medication or have a medical condition, it's very important that you declare this to the medic. We have a zero-tolerance policy against non-prescribed drugs or alcohol. Details are contained in our D&A policy, which can be found on the BMS. The use of mobile phones is prohibited while the vessel is working. Making or receiving mobile phone calls may interfere with the vessel's navigational systems, but also every individual's attention is required for the safe operation of the vessel. Our permit to work system is designed to make sure that, apart from the most ordinary routine work, every job is carefully thought through as to the risks to individuals. The permit to work system will be explained to you by your supervisor, and you must make sure you understand it before you start any work on the vessel, and make sure that any hazards are identified and that the correct controls are put in place to reduce any risks. Specific guidance and training may be provided depending on the role. Toolbox talks are key factors before starting work. It's a chance to identify and discuss hazards, conflicts, and an opportunity for you to raise any other concerns, including general working requirements that apply. For example, working at height and manual handling. All of these will be covered at the Toolbox talk. Good housekeeping makes a significant contribution to safe working, so keep your worksite as neat and as tidy as you can, and put the rubbish in the designated skips or bins supplied. If you see someone fall overboard or see someone in the water, then raise the alarm by shouting "Man overboard" and throw the nearest lifebuoy to them. It's very easy to lose sight of someone in the water, so keep looking and pointing at them. Keep shouting "Man overboard" until someone comes who can then alert the bridge. If no one comes, then you'll have to call the bridge yourself, but do this as quickly as you can and get back to where you saw the person and keep pointing at them. There is a general smoking policy that allows you to smoke only in designated areas, and you will be told about these in your site-specific induction. If there's an accident, an incident, or a near miss, it must be reported as soon as possible to your supervisor. It must be fully reported and entered in Synergy, the company's safety data recording system, so that we can use the experience to prevent it happening again. You must also report any damage to any equipment so that it can be properly repaired or replaced. On any vessel, there are a number of hazardous areas where entry is restricted. Sometimes it's necessary to, for example, barrier off parts of the vessel for pressure testing or for radiography. Don't cross a barrier without permission. You may be putting yourself and others in danger. If you put up a barrier, then put a sign on it to say why it's there, the date, and who's in charge of the site. This means that anyone who needs access to the area will have a contact point. And remember to take down the barrier when you finish the job. Operational safety. Operational safe working also applies if you're working on the quayside alongside a moored vessel. You may be spooling or loading cargo. Whatever the job, safety takes priority anywhere, every time. Pay particular attention to any signs or warnings before entering or leaving a vessel gangway, as the ropes and ladder footings can be tricky, especially if you're transiting off and on the ship regularly. And always use the handrails. Be aware of forklifts and cranes moving about the jetty, and never walk under any crane loads. Remember, be vigilant and safe. The same safety principles apply whether you're working on a vessel or on shore. Look out for yourself and the people around you, and always be prepared to call a safety timeout if you think something's going wrong or if you feel uneasy about anything.